In this lesson, students will be able to determine the height of a person based on the size of different bones. Forensic anthropology is the study of human skeletal remains for the purpose of law. And one of their primary role is to help with identifying unidentified human remains. And one way they do that is by determining the age, the sex, and the stature of that remain. By examining and measuring the length in centimeters of long bones, one can determine the approximate height of a person by substituting the length into a standardized equation. Long bones are what we consider any bone that is longer than it is wider. Many times those are your bones in your arms and the bones in your legs. The standard equations are on the back side of this page, and you can kind of see the breakdown of the race and the sex, as well as the type of long bones, humerus through fibula. Okay, and then this last column deals with accuracy, and we're just not going to focus on that portion of this diagram. If we know the gender and we know the race of an individual, the calculations will be a lot more accurate. Sometimes if we know the age too, that will also make the calculations accurate as well. And sometimes if you use 2 or more bones, that will also help with accuracy. What I'm going to go through is an example of how to calculate the length of a bone to determine the height of an African American male who has a femur bone of 50 centimeters. Notice we're given the race and we're also given the gender. I'm going to go through 5 easy steps on how to calculate this. Step number 1, we're going to use the standardized equation to determine the height in centimeters. So for example, we're going to flip this over and look at the chart. African American males is this column. Here's my equation for the femur bone. Height equals 2.10 times the femur bone plus 72.22 centimeters. Height equals 2.10 times my femur bone, which is 50 centimeters, plus 72.22. Take my calculator. 2.10 times 50 plus 72.22. And from this, I can determine that this African American male was 177.22 centimeters tall. However, in the United States, we're not used to giving someone their height by centimeters. So therefore, the next 4 steps, we're going to convert centimeters into feet, inches. Step number 2, what I'm going to simply do first is convert the centimeters to inches. And we know how to do this, that there is 2.54 centimeters in an inch. So therefore, my equation will look something like this. My height in centimeters, I'm going to simply divide it by 2.54 because there's in 1 inch, that's how many centimeters you have, and that's going to give me my answer in inches. So I'm going to take 177.22 centimeters, divide that by 2.54 inches centimeters. Centimeters cancel out, so I'm left with inches. 177.22 divided by 2.54, and that gives me an answer of 69.77. We'll round to the hundredths place. 69.77 inches. Step 3, what we'll do now is we'll convert the inches to feet. And we know that there are 12 inches in a foot, so my equation is going to look something like this. Height in inches divided by 12, okay? And that's going to give me my answer in feet. So I've got 69.77 inches divided by 12, and that's going to give me 69.77 divided by 5.81 feet. 81 feet. Now notice this is decimal feet. This person is not 5 feet 8 inches. What I have to do to get 5 feet so many inches is step 4. I need to convert the remaining feet back to inches. So my remaining would be my decimal times 12 inches. It's going to give me my answer in inches. So what I'm going to do here is take 0.81 feet times 12. And that's going to give me 9.72 inches. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to round to the whole inch. So therefore my answer is going to be 10 inches. The last step is the easiest step. Step 5, we're just going to combine feet and inches. Notice we solved for feet in step number 3. 5 feet. And for inches, we solved that in step number 4. 10. 5 feet 10 inches is the height of this African American male.